we are touching currently this layer, the S3 bucket layer. So we discussed a few of the components about S3. So can anyone talk about S3, please? It's a simple storage service. The name it says. It's a SaaS service. You can say that. You don't know behind what OS is running, how much RAM, CPU it is being used. So we don't know. Yeah.
It store the information like attach files and
It's object storage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they charge for based on the request. They charge for based on the request. Something get put, something kind of. There are yeah price.
Yeah. By default, S3 bucket is private.
Awesome. Yeah, that is default. S3 is private. Yeah.
And also S3 is the region based and we can access globally.
Yeah, it's a regional, but it's a global. If someone says that, say that it's a global. Behind the S3 bucket will be it's a region specific. Yeah. Awesome. Nice. So S3, what purpose we can use? Like database backups, not snapshot. RD snapshot is different. Snapshot will be controlled by AWS. If I want to take specific database, I don't want to keep in a EBS volume or somewhere. We upload majority times that backup into S3 database specific backups or anything. I want to store backup somewhere. So, yeah, kind of storage, some kind of backup. So yeah, this we know. But we were using for one purpose, right? S3. What purpose we were using? One more purpose I was telling, right? Last session. Yeah. We remember uh, uh, to do this, we were going to the one solution called what solution we were using previously? Previously.
How to install Apache, everything.
Yeah. Yeah. If someone comes to me, hey, run this website, the first question I ask them, what question we need to ask them? Like, for example, if someone comes to me, just say, I am not aware that context. They wanted to run a website. First question, you always ask them what question you can ask them.
This is a data.
Yeah. Yeah. First,
How much data do you have?
this is very important. Last, always ask him what content. I mean to say content. Yeah. Just a minute. Sorry. Sorry. So always ask if someone comes to you, run a website. Run a website. First, always ask this question language. If this is like JavaScript or Angular JS, React JS, then the first preference is ask them. You have to say them, hey, can we run this content in S3? Then further the discussion will start. Then they may ask, we have some behind some, like for example, React JS code is the front end. We may send some API calls to other some kind of Python or Java, like something like, hey, can I send like this from here to here? You can send it. That is possible. This you can run on top of EC2. This you can run on top of it, like kind of S3. This will be EC2, this will be S3. If you see this image, right? Just see this image. So some content they are getting from here, some content they are getting from here. See here? That is the one of the. A few people are pinging me, sorry. Well, just for today. So what I was telling it in the real time, the some architectures they'll be running some content here, some behind like obviously the Java, Python you cannot run on S3. Only the static content you can run on here. So this is what I was telling. Some front-end content you can keep in S3. Some this can run on top of EC2. How to send this request from here to here, the developer will take care. Our job is to make this load balancer endpoint, register in Route 53, and then this one also same. And then from here to here, some property file will be there. In the property file, you remember I was telling every application will have a property file. That property file, I'll define this endpoint URL. That developer will take care how to link it. My job is to make this as a endpoint. That's it. Yeah. So help me here with this info. How did you understand? Yeah. Yeah, can you talk about on these keywords? EBS versus S3.
S3 is the object storage
Yeah.
and EBS is the block
Yeah.
storage.
Yeah. Object. EBS is block. Yeah. Oh no.
No,
Yeah. Yeah. Access. See. Access. Yeah.
yes.
Prices. This. Yeah.
So S3 is for storing the mainly static data.
Yeah. You can also store here static data if you want. Anything, it's kind of hard disk. But what we are doing it, some content it is not good place to storage. You can store here also static data. Static content you can store, right? The anything you can store.
We can store more in S3 compared to EBS.
Yeah, EBS says some limitation is there. Here in one bucket, I'm not telling total S3 buckets. In one bucket, you can store up to 5 terabytes in one bucket. In one bucket. That is one you can see. EBS volumes. So AWS you may hit like I have seen like till how much I increased recently. I increased till 7 terabytes I increased one EBS volume. I was working on it. So I seen that. That is what I see. And then S3, yes, you one bucket, you can go till 5 terabytes. EBS volume, I saw that 6 terabytes I increased, but there is a limitation, something. Some kind of limits you will get it, IOPS, blah blah something.
And S3 is scalable and easy to take backups.
Yeah, it's scalable. Yeah, here I mean everything is in scalable. Yeah, what is mean here? Resize. You can do resize easily. Just upload or delete. Yeah. Here, resize, if you want to do resize thing, here you have to do like manual effort, some kind of Linux commands you have to do. Linux commands, you have to do Linux commands. Many Linux commands you have to run it here. Yeah. So if this is okay, these are all practical, but what some people write, the more technically, we expect you is this answer. EBS directly attached to the OS, and S3 is a SaaS service. S3 is, let's say for example, behind it will be there one more OS, and on top of OS there is an application running. When I'm interacting S3, behind there are multiple interfaces are there. If you're interacting with EBS, behind directly we're interacting with storage, hard disk. When I'm interacting with S3, behind OS will be there. Again, one more application will be there. Behind that, there is a distribution partitioning will be there. The content will be stored at different places, distributed and all. In the EBS, right, the storage will be sequential, hard disk storage. That is what we expect in the interview. If you more technically, right, they'll expect you that. You remember what I was telling here? Sequential. This will be like behind some kind of partitioning, replication, some kind of SaaS app is running. These kind of things will be. So few of the interview, I mean, technical much. This is the one they expect you. If you are like very good in the technical, if you say that sequence, interview goes more complex. Otherwise, these are enough. And the basic things, bucket name cannot be duplicate. It should be unique across all the accounts. And obviously the object storage, you can upload the videos, documents. You cannot run the applications on top of S3. These are the some basic things. And they charge for S3. S3 is like storage also they'll charge, and then the based upon the request types, get post, put some kind of request they'll charge. Delete also they'll charge. Good. So our objective right now is run this kind of backup, like just if you upload any file that is termed as a backup. Another purpose you can run as a static website, and bucket is by default is the private. Okay, let me put a context now itself what we are going for. We'll be running this static website as is like this, and then we will see some kind of interrelated topics here, and then we will expose this to this guy, and then we will enter into this layer. I mean, this is the my I mean, next further this week parallelly we'll start with some kind of automation related next, like to interacting with this, we are interacting with the console, right? I'll see there is alternative for that AWS CLI. When we talk S3, right, we used to talk that majority, and then I'll start this same setup with the Terraform. I mean to say there is a tool is there in the automation that I'll start this week. That's it. That is what my objective. Complete this with the UI clicks, then start with the automation. That is what next my objective. Cool. So with this, so last session, right? This is what my objective. Run a static website on S3. So as I said, first always language. When someone says it, static, go ahead to the S3, create a bucket. First. Second, upload content. Third, enable static website. There are some properties we need to enable static website. Make permission properties, some permissions you have to change. Why? Because bucket by default is the private. So you need to give it to end users, like outside to read only something. They have to access it, read only to public. So keep this thought. S3, when you're creating S3, it doesn't interfere with VPC. Altogether, S3 is a global. When you're creating S3, you won't select any subnets, no security groups, nothing. It's S3 is out of VPC concept altogether. Okay. So make permissions, we will do that. Then we will test the endpoint. So when you create a load balancer, When you create a RDS, when you create a elastic cache, EC2, like you have a DNS endpoint, right? Same way, S3 also will have a endpoint. This endpoint will be there. Naming convention will be like something. This is the exam point of view question I have seen it. Bucket something, the S3 is something, region dot Amazon something, it will come like this. Something. This is the endpoint. Naming convention will come like this. Now, with that, let me go here to S3. It's, so this is the one I created last time. You remember? These are the by default the properties. Bucket is not public currently. Go here. We uploaded content here. I did a drag and drop, or you can do normal. Like first time you have two times I have to do. One time is folder, one time files. Instead of that, what I did, drag and drop. That is the one. Now I have the files here. These are the files. So another thing was whenever we upload into S3, behind AWS, what they do, they will segregate S3, some storages are there, S3 types are there. Okay. Keep it here. S3 storage types are there. This is why they brought it, because what as I was saying it, S3 for backup purpose and then running purposes website. If you are using backup purpose, if the data is just for only backup, don't pay as much more amount. There is a storage classes are there, storage types are there. You can move from one storage to some of them like standard, infrequent access. They'll charge like very less amount for this. Storage will be there, but cost will be there, but less cost here. This one, this is bit little costly, and then some access zone. There are many, but majority times we used to interact with this one Glacier. They added more. These were the like older ones like standard, infrequent access, Glacier. This one. This please remember, this one we cannot interact directly from console. You cannot download Glacier files directly. You need to use API from CLI or programmatically. Keep this thought. Glacier, you cannot directly access it. Keep this. You have to use CLI and API something. Recently, I got a task. With the files were like they uploaded almost like 3 years back. So when I tried to access it, it took like simple files. I remember like something around like 13 to like minimum. I saw that like 30 minutes something. Sizes files. You cannot interact with this file. Keep this very important. Glacier is you cannot interact directly. So that API or CLI. Then I had a call with AWS team. They sent me one document, global, I mean the internet document. I followed that step. Okay. So by default, whatever you upload, it will be into the standard file. That's what here. It is a standard files. If you want to move to from one storage to another storage, you remember here is the life cycle policies will be there. We don't enable for all of them. For static website, I don't enable lifecycle rules. If I have backup data for that thing, for that bucket or for that components, I'll enable it. I'll come on it, but not just keep this storage classes keyboard. So I have enabled static hosting here. Go to properties. This is what I was talking. If you go down, there will be endpoint will be there. This is controlled by AWS. Which protocol? Can you guys help me here? Which protocol this one?
HTTP.
HTTP. Keep this thought. HTTP. Okay. So let's go and then access this guy. Last time we here. So by default, bucket is private. You cannot access outside. If you want access outside, here some properties will be there. Go for properties in the sense extra permissions. You have to do like block changes the here. One minute, sorry. Yeah. So here we need to enable it. In the interview point of view also, like we will get this kind of question thing. Okay, you remember I was talking about IAM policies. IAM policies to restrict AWS services. Like from IAM, I want to restrict to S3 bucket, or I want to restrict to EC2 load balancer or some VPC. One person, when I create a user, when I create a role, that role will have a permissions. Like that, right? Bucket is little. It has one more feature. Keep this. It's interview related question also. There are some policies. Policies are IAM also will be there. IAM policies. There is one extra policies are for bucket. This is nowhere related with IAM. Okay, this policy is altogether different. Bucket policies. Bucket policies like same. S3 buckets or objects. That is what it will restrict. Bucket by itself it has its own policies, because this is for security obviously. Nowhere related with IAM policies. Okay, inline or the custom managed, it doesn't matter. Bucket policies are different than the IAM policies. So bucket itself it will applies it. Here also you need, it's all together how you are dealing with this bucket, public or private something. Okay, here you can, so we can add it here, the policies and all here. This is specific, nowhere related with IAM as I saying it. You can go and then update here. Let me go little. Here also something, some properties, object ownership, bucket, some properties we needed it to make this error, avoid this error. Okay, with that, right? So let me try with bucket policy. I wanted to enable this bucket policy to public. Examples. Let me see some examples if I get. This is the one of the two. You remember initial days I was telling it. Policy, you no need to write any code. There are the internet already are there, some JSON content. So these tools we use, policy generator tool. So let's go here, some samples if I get immediately. Access from grant reading permissions to anonymous users. So let's see what it is meaning. Manage access, global content, manage bucket, username, password. No, I don't want to do this. Yeah, let's see what it is. Oh my gosh, click on this guy. Deny. Yeah. What it is? What is this? Let me click on this one. Anonymous user. What is it? Block access. Block, choose edit. Block all public. Let's let it be the, oh, this we need to uncheck. That's okay. Let me go with that. Let me try it. Suppose I want to say policy. Yeah, let's see. This is the you need to just get this content. New tab. Don't care about this flower brackets and you'll get habituated. My objective was here. This is the one principle. Like if someone is accessing, who is accessing this guy, something here, and then what permissions you are giving, actions here, and then what object you are going to give it here. This is what. This is the bucket policy. It's equal to the policy something. I would say that we are applying this policy to bucket level, not at IAM policy level. Good. We are going to allow, no deny. Okay, allow here. We are doing it public read object. This is some syntax. Every policy will have this kind of syntax. Whether it is IAM policy or bucket policy, version statement will be there. Syntax. This is little important. Principal, who is going to access it? All the resources, and I mean all of them outside and all. If I want to specific to, then I can restrict here little. Okay, and then get object. There are the delete object, list bucket. Some majority will be there inside S3. This is API call. Okay. This is the target. This is the any from where. This is the permissions, and then this is the target. With this, right? This is how you can get it from internet. Other way around, I was telling, right? One tool is the policy generator. Yeah. Who will use this policy? Let's go for S3. Principal, let it put like all for now. Which S3 services? Here is the like one of them. What was that, for example? Let's go. Let's see all. Here you have to provide, you remember ARN, like uh, every AWS object will have the ARN when you create it. Some of them will be visible in the CLI console. Some of them you may need to use commands, okay, CLI, APIs. For now, this is S3 bucket. Let me go here. Yeah, this is the way it will be there. This is the ARN of S3. If you see, right, interesting thing here, you will not have the region something until here. Some resources they'll have region something. This is AWS ARN. We are interacting with S3, not EC2 or like earlier, like something PP settle. No, this is specifically by seeing this, you will come to know what resource it is. Copy this guy here. Generating a policy from policy generator. Paste it here. Add statement. Generate policy. This is how you can get it. No need to write the manually with hands here. So I'm giving S3 here specifically. They are giving it here. What permissions I'm giving in S3? What is that meaning here? In S3 again you will have a permissions, right? If you see star means all permissions.
All.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a cloud guy, right? I should know this basics, some basics. If you see here, I'm not giving all permissions. I'm giving only get object inside S3 index, get just files. That's it. Here, let me bring this principal in the sense who is going to access this bucket. Put it here. /star inside the S3 content. Copy this content. You can use the tool or you can use from internet also. You can copy this content as is. Go to here. Different ways are there to enable the bucket into public. I'm going with this approach, one of the approach, permissions. Here, policy. Yeah. Let's see what will happen. Little syntax, if you make little spaces also something, errors will come back. Save changes. You either don't have policy or bucket policy grants level public as that conflicts with the block access, etc. I cannot add directly, that's what it is saying it. Even if I put it, let's go here for now. Something, let's remove this one. SELs, everyone. Bucket owner can do anything. Everyone, nothing. Let me try this for me. Bucket policy should was working. Sorry, they changed lot some kind of settings. This kind of basically. Save changes. Let me see. I removed this access. I mean, I kept it. Let me go for till buckets again. Let's refresh it. I enabled the global to turn off. Block, I removed it. Now let me see this. Still objects can be public. This one. Let's access this one. No, still. Let me try to apply that policy. Permissions. Let's what and all here. Individual. Block public access, block public access, block cross account. Now let me apply the policy here once. Edit. Yeah, this worked now after changing this one toggle, block on public access toggle. Now let's go to the S3 bucket again. Buckets. Let's refresh one. Yeah, you see this is getting changed now. Like earlier, objects can be public something. I did a one toggle. Just what is the toggle is here permissions. I changed this one. This just this object. Okay. Now let me try this. See, So the page came here right now. The UI itself, it is running. You remember behind when we were running the same setup, behind what? Let me put it like this here. As an end user, we did same website, right? Static website in cell days. EC2 VPC. Can you guys tell me here how end user will come with the end user flow? Can you guys help me here?
With the load balancer,
End user,
MR IP.
Yeah, LB endpoint.
target group.
Awesome. Here we will have some kind of listener rules. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will go to the, it will validate again rules, right? Some rules will be that path based or host based or something. Very good. Now it
Then
will
security group.
forget group. Obviously, yeah, obviously here also security group will be there. Yes. Here also.
Security group.
EC2.
And then EC2 OS. What will be running? One guy will be running, no?
Apache.
Yeah.
And then the path where www kind of folder, right?
/var/.
Same thing, same we are doing right now. Same we are doing it now.
With S3.
S3. That's it. Do we need all these concepts VPC? Nothing, right? So
Yes.
just like if you get a option now, obviously don't prefer this kind of. Here you remember I was telling one keyword. This is manage. You have to take a lot of responsibility here. So with this, right, very simple. Go and then S3 enable it into the public. That is what. Give it to end user. That's it. Any queries, questions you want to ask? Here S3 endpoint will be there. It will go to the S3 directly.
Even here also we can control the name, right? The endpoint name.
Yeah. Static site. Hosting. The endpoint is right now is this endpoint. No? Where was this guy? This endpoint. So what I do,
Right.
I will not use this endpoint. I'll go to this guy. Where? DNS server.
Road 53.
Here I will enable that the CNAME record. That's it. So the CNAME record will come. Behind the CNAME will resolve to this endpoint only. So you got it right now. Though, so if you get an option, React.js in the real time, damn sure we go for this. The architect will suggest you. If they are suggesting an S3 something, don't. I mean Apache or Nginx, say them. If it is someday the other day they'll come back again to S3. Please just keep this that okay. Always go straight away. Someone comes to your website, ask the first question, language, React, static, somewhere fill in it. I will prefer into S3. If sometimes they'll ask you, hey, I have some dynamic endpoints behind this code will call. Let's say, for example, some people you remember it, whenever they end up on this page, somewhere they will have a login kind of keyboard. Then username, password they will enter. That username, password behind logic, S3 doesn't deal it. When you click on it, behind, this is what I was telling it. So it will give you the login page or something. If you do login again, right? The developer has to make that code here. It will come here. Again, it has to send the logic into behind here. Yeah. So React to the front end to back end. Sending that logic, developer has to implement. That is up to them. You tell them. If there is a behind endpoint, check that in the React.js how to call to the backend endpoint. Tell them you don't take that responsibility. That is their responsibility. Okay?
So
Cool.
you are saying you can control whatever the static is with the S3 and the backend with the EC2, right?
Yeah, let's say for example, they wanted to call from, let me go like this, okay? Straight away go here. Yeah. See now this is, you think that this page is coming from where? From
S3.
S3. Now they do login here. This
So
also,
this-
yes, this will be S3. I don't care if coming from here to here, that is developer responsibility. Okay.
Okay.
If something 502, 5 gateway, some permission denied error, then I'll commit. Okay. From here to here, this page is not loading it. They'll take care. That is there. Okay. Now here, this is also coming, will be coming from where? Till you see, right?
Yeah, S3.
Now I'll click it here. This now request will go to where now with this flow. I'm sorry.
Database.
It will go to S3 only here now.
Okay.
This S3 now, they'll configure it in this file from here to here. You entered username password. Then behind in this code, right? They'll have a logic in this file. Okay, so there is a one slash API call is coming something. Then it will decide it to send to behind to yes. This code will be running right that logic. From here to here again it will go to something that is up to them. From here to here it will go and then it will get that output from here to here. You got it what I mean here? Someone was
Yes.
that is developer responsibility sending it. So again, maintaining is your responsibility. What I'll say that there is I hosted the backend endpoint. It is exposed via Route 53. I'll give you there will be property file. That property file will deal from here to here. That they'll take it. Okay. Let me put it here right away. You will get some kind of tasks. Front end. What will be the front end? S3. Some kind of backend. Backend will be some kind of Python or Java, some kind of APIs. Okay. This kind of APIs. So you have to forward from here. Where it will be running this way? EC2s. Or it can be other company APIs. Other company APIs also can be. Okay. From here to it will go. So my objective majority here, like to know the S3 creating S3 and then some basic properties. Okay. In the interviews, right, you will get this kind of questions. So I want to move how to make life cycle. They'll ask you the question, what is life cycle? Moving from one storage type to another storage type. Why do you go for that? I don't want to pay default standard storage. This content I may not be using it. I wanted to move from here to there. So that is the one. Let's go to S3 bucket. This guy. Management. Please, we don't manage this S3 files, right? For S3 files, we no need to manage this lifecycle rule. You remember which content we will enable lifecycle rule? What content? If my bucket is running a static website, not preferred at all. Which content you can prefer lifecycle? Moving from one storage type to another storage. Which content? Remember, in the real time, we don't enable for all the buckets, no? Depends upon the pricing and then the content they are just uploading. What do you say here? Hmm?
Mm.
Backups. Somewhere I'm just uploading the backups. Let's say, for example, I uploaded some kind of videos there. I'm not using them. Then there is a bulk content. In that case, prefer lifecycle rules. If it is just a static website, don't prefer it. Okay. Just for all the backups where you are paying lot money for that and you are not using that. Then only go for lifecycle rule. Otherwise, don't go. In the interviews, I have seen this interview question. Okay. From one storage type to another, like standard to infrequent to glacier something. With that, let's go here. Glacier something. Limit the scope of which files you want to specific files, filter something and all. Don't go for now, filter. Don't prefer that like star HTML videos or something. And then move current version objects, all of them. Filter rule, let's see. Oh no. But this is not required. Star. You don't include the bucket name in the prefix. Okay, the key names. No, not required. Let me replace this page since I clicked it. Limit. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. This is all the objects. Don't care about specific thing. This is the specific. I acknowledge it will be applicable for all of them. Move current objects between storage classes. Yes. Current objects means whatever the files you uploaded it. Here, yeah, here is the one. Right now, the standard is there. After how many days you want to send back to that content? I was saying, don't send HTML normal static content. Backup buckets only we will enable this feature, okay? Let's say, for example, there is some limitation. You cannot give less number for IA and all, okay? Add a transition, the intelligent tagging, that's okay. I can go immediately to the Glacier debarker. Let's see. The debarker. Let's say, for example, I want to send to standard to standard IA, like maybe after 30 days, blah, blah. Then send it to this guy after 180 days. Oh, they have, yeah, the integer more than something like for deep archive, right? There is some limitation for this in end of them, okay? You cannot go lesser number and all. Let's go for 180. Yeah. After 30 days, right? The files will be moved to standard IA. Then after 180 days, they'll be moved to the Glacier. Is there any number need to be followed? No, it's your up to like whatever it's up to your convenient. No one will tell you that. Okay. If someone knows it, you can ask them, hey, how many specific days? Otherwise, you go with your random number, something. There is no good number. No, that's up to them. But what I know, it will have a restriction. Glacier in standard to standard IA, infrequent access, and then Glacier, the debarkable. I acknowledge. Great. Is there after some days, delete it. Automatically it will delete. Yeah. You see that expire current version of the objects. After some days, right? Let's delete also. You get an option. Yeah. Automatically from S3, the content will be deleted it. After, like, for example, if I'm not accessing it, like maybe 365 days, something, let's remove this content. Yeah. So standard to 30 days, 180 days, delete the content. Here are the some checkboxes you have to expire thing. This is moving it current versions. Yeah. So this is one of the interview questions. And in the real time, right, like we don't enable for all of them, like as I was saying it, backups only. And somewhere the data just, I'm dumping it, data like blah, blah, something. For that, we will enable it. Any queries, questions you want to ask on it? In the interviews, I seen this interview question, like this question. What is life cycle? Moving from one storage life cycle to another storage life cycle after some specific days, like standard to IA to Glacier, like blah, blah, something. And then delete after certain days. That is the one. Good. So now, let me put it here. Don't prefer the regularly using one. Don't prefer it. Your content will get flushed away. Like, so saying it, if you enable expiration at certain days, the content will be moved. If someone is not accessing those files, again, you need to upload it back again, that thing. Good. So very important. Sometimes, let's say, for example, I will delete this one of this file from S3. I will delete one of this file. You cannot get back again. Just it will go away. The S3 given a one feature. If it is very critical files, very important files, not for backups and all, there are some important files. We will come to that state, okay? Some important files, you don't want to lose them. Even if you accidentally delete that, you can get back with S3 feature. For that, you have to enable that in S3. Go for somewhere properties, I think. Yeah, properties. Yeah, this is the one. You see, right? Versioning it. When you upload any file, right? But S3 will keep you that backup behind. When you upload next again, if you override that, behind what S3 does, for every current data, right, it will keep a backup version 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. It will enable it. Keep this thought. We don't enable for backups, because what will happen? it will incur more charge, right? If you enable for backups. Instead that, very critical files, some important files. So someone developer coming to you, hey, I wanted to use S3. My application is going to use S3. The immediate question you ask them, what content you are storing it, how important is that file, if it deletes it, like can we get from, do you want to, like for example, what I mean is here, you cannot delete it. Let's say it accidentally deleted that file. Can I get back from again something? What I mean is here, let me put it like this, okay? Who will give this content for you? This content. In the real time, who will give you this?
Developers.
Developer will give you.
Developer.
Developer will give you all HTML content. Now you kept it here in S3. Okay. So now if I delete this file, again I can get back from him, right? That's what I mean it here. There are some files are there. Some programs will generate, they will store in S3. So this is generated by the program. So on the fly it will generate some very like kind of, you cannot generate back again. So very critical file in my case, for example, like invoice, blah, blah, something. Do I need to enable for them? Yes, it depends upon. So you ask the developer if they are using S3. Is it mandatory to go with versioning? Tell them it is casting again. How much data? Like that. With that, for backups, right? For not all the files, very critical files only we will enable it. With that, just it says click only, enable it. Behind what S3 does, it will make a replica of that every object. So keep this thought. Versioning is for backups purpose. And then if you upload any files, if you delete any files, it will make version 1, 2, 3, something and all like that. Okay? Now go for here, management, lifecycle rule. You will have a one more option. You see right here, somewhere. This is the current objects. You see, right? If I have like non-current, like 1, 2, 3 older files I want to delete, then you can enable this option, non-current. So here, move it to like after 30 days, same I'll follow like number of versions. Do you like 1, 2, 3 something, right? Number of new versions to retain. Let's retain the last two. Then move it to the Glacier, blah, blah. After 180 days. Then let's give that 1. The Glacier is not much. Then delete that objects. Delete after 365 days. It's up to the developer requirement. If they're not using the data until after 90 days, something, put the rule for 90 days only to delete. Not a problem. This is what it is in one US concurrent retained rather than versions more to, yeah, the integer value must be greater than Archer. Something, yeah, some statement. M. For all the objects. Like, so when you hear S3 related keywords, right? Sometimes these kind of keyword, life cycle, versioning, they'll come you. Hey, do you have S3 enabled versioning, something and all? These kind of keywords you will listen. Kind of. Okay. Any queries, questions you want to ask on it? If I delete any files, I can get back from backend versioning again. Okay. So lifecycle rule, cost purpose. These are two little important tasks in the real time also, like we used to do that. Cool. With that, now let me go for our S3 related keywords we covered. We have them good keywords. And then let me go for my flow. It is the flow. So I have running content here. And then I'm accessing this content from, let's say, for example, this is the endpoint. Where was that, man? Yeah, this is the endpoint. By seeing this endpoint, you can come to know in which region it is running.
Yeah, so AP, so Mumbai.
This is running in US East one. Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, my default nature of Okay, it is running in the AP South one. Like Mumbai and all we don't call normally. Like as I said, right, by without my mind, like US East one, because we habituated that keywords to calling it. Okay, we lock for one region majority times AP South one. It is running from AP South one. So for this customer, for these websites, right, you will be coming customers from different region. Some people will be accessing. They'll be accessing from New Zealand, Singapore, US, different region, Europe, Asia, something like. The users will be coming from different sources of geographically for this website. All will be going to which location now? AP South one, which is Mumbai. All the requests are coming to Mumbai. So what AWS has given you with this, what will happen is sometimes, not sometimes, majority times, there will be latency. If one customer is coming from customers from geographic, they're coming to which location now? Mumbai. Every time. Here is my storage. Which storage? S3 storage software is running here, SaaS. They'll be running here. All OS, all hard disk. They'll be running here. From here, I'm serving that content behind to AWS will be serving for us geographically. With this, what will happen? There will be latency. Some kind of slowness will be there when you are accessing this content. AWS has given you this approach. In the interviews also, they'll ask this question, okay? If you have customer from geographically one location, you remember what is the place geographically divided data centers in AWS terminology? Geographically divided data center is called in cloud. AWS. Sorry?
Availability zone.
Yeah, availability zone, and one more, what is that called? Region. So along with this, what AWS created it, this is physical place, right? They created one place called edge locations. Okay. This edge location is a place. It can be inside a region. I'll tell you, there is a edge location in Bangalore also, in Chennai also, in Hyderabad there is a region. They'll have edge locations along with the region, or it can be separate also. Like as I said, right, Mumbai also they have Bangalore, Chennai. I know the Bangalore like something. They have more edge locations, like more than. Regions 105 or 33. Oh my gosh. And yeah, that kind of locations. They're not sharing here. Let me put it in edge location. Do they have here some? Global infrastructure. So, somewhere it should be there. So they were showing it. Yeah. And the team, not this edge cache, not cache. It was mainly on the edge location. Okay. This is the data center, physical data center. Okay. It's a physical place. Oh, edge caches. That's what I think. The same keyword what we have seen it first. Okay. My objective was just to show one kind of map. That's it. Not much thing here. Yeah. There will be different, like this is what I was looking in that image. There will be like different edge locations will be there along with the regions are separately also. Okay. Different edge locations that will be managed by the AWS only. I'll tell you, very famous guy in the edge location is not AWS. There was previously one guy very popular is Akamai. Now Hotstar, YouTube, SBI website, majority, right? Previous when cloud was not there, right? Akamai one company is there, very famous company. Like they were ruling like 95% of the business, they were ruling it. There are many are there right now, edge location companies. Let me see. One more very good company. I heard this recently. Akamai, damn sure this is the top yesterday. They were ruling the world. HP. In the real time, we see, yeah, this guy, Cloudflare also. You will learn, you will be hearing these names, okay? Cloudflare. Like AWS also giving this solution as a AWS also giving this solution as like Akamai company. They're also giving like one keyword called CloudFront. Okay. Behind the CloudFront also using this technology only. Akamai. They had a tie-up with the people. Okay. So what I mean, why you need to use edge locations? Whenever you are accessing from Mumbai, you remember, you know this logic already. Cache, RDS. Elastic cache. Why you are using elastic caching?
Frequently used.
For faster access.
Faster access. From where it is getting data? Maybe like this application, it will check here logic, check first whether it is in the cache. Then if it is not available, go for RDS, then store that content into back into the elastic cache. Next time, if anyone comes, it will get it from here itself. Faster access. Exactly. With that, right? I don't want to send all my customers to Mumbai. What I'll do here with that, we'll keep it here in between this guy. Its solution, CloudFront. What CloudFront does, if any static content or frequent content, it will cache it here. Next time onwards, it will not send to this place. So let's say, how many CloudFronts are there? As I said, right, geographically, many are there. If you are coming from Hyderabad region, now content will serve from Hyderabad the CloudFront location. Now request will not go to the Mumbai at all. So to avoid the traffic latency, the content will be served from, instead of this place, it will be served from CloudFront only. With this, why we are using it? Yes, to make it faster, as I said, and serving. Which location it stored? Behind it is called edge location. Say one more data center. You can say that storage is serving data center managed by AWS only, not our job. They'll take care anything. So majority times, right, which content we enable it? They're saying it static contents. So my job is here. I don't want to serve content every time, like from my destination point. Whenever customer comes, whenever he is hitting that endpoint, it will be routed to nearest CloudFront location. If it is available, it will get it. Again, it will get back from the S3. Next time onwards, it will be served from CloudFront only. It will be very split. Go for here. CloudFront. Global content delivery network. You will be listening these names. Please bear with that keywords. Cloudflare, Akamai, kind of. When you listen that, think that they are using some kind of edge, very fast access, something and like they wanted to. CloudFront distribution. This is what it is asking you. From where you want to serve the content. You see, right? You can associate CloudFront to some of the components. One is S3. You can associate to load balancer also. There are some API gateway, blah, blah. Then disable it. Media store, media package. You remember the Hotstar, they'll use this kind of, I can say that sure. They'll be using one of these kind of things because they want to serve very fast, right? Not the location. So with this, right, my objective was I'm running static content here. Select here. Enable it. Yeah, we have enabled it. Origin path. Don't give now. Give it to public, anything. Don't, so please, majority property said don't change it. If you have any custom requirement, then go for this. Objective was, yeah, here I want to show something. Yeah, this is one. You remember the previously I asked one question. In the S3 endpoint, what was the protocol was there?
HTTP.
STP. Here you see, right? It will serve both. HTTP to HTTPS, and one more. If you want HTTP to redirection, both. Just keep this thought. This is the some kind of request methods, get and WAF also you can associate. Oh my gosh, very good. And then it is supporting the latest version HTTP. Here what I did, just I selected let me tell you the technical keyword that we call as a origin path. Or what is your origin? From where you are getting the content. Load balancer or S3 some media. I selected the S3. Just don't change much properties. Select that endpoint. Click distribution. Don't enable. Yeah. It was asking, do you want to associate WAF something? Okay. What AWS now does is, they'll copy this content from my S3 bucket to across edge locations. They'll copy. Okay. They'll copy it. Now, after you create a CloudFront distribution, like as I said, S3 has an endpoint, EC2 has a DNS endpoint, load balancer has a DC, RDS, cache. Here also you will get a one endpoint. This is the endpoint. You'll get this endpoint. Can you see what is the protocol now? What is the protocol?
HTTPS.
This is the endpoint. Now, if I access this endpoint, right, this AWS will take care. If you access here, from where this content will be served. If you access here, from where the content will be served. Yeah, S3 only, from which region?
Mumbai.
Yeah. With this, with all the edge locations. Behind what AWS will be doing right now, it will take little process. Behind what they'll do, they'll be copying this content from here to across all the edge locations. Next time, if I hit this request, my request will not go to the origin destination endpoint. It will not go. It will be served nearest the edge locations. With that, it will be very, very fast. AWS. Right. It takes a little time. You see, right? Now, what is the endpoint now here? Endpoint. Ending with this is the hosted zone, cloudfront.net here. This one, this thing, Amazon. Somewhere, right, in the certification somewhere, you have to have a good kind of like sense here something. If you see something, it is serving from S3 blah blah something. If you see like this, it is coming from CloudFront. With this, I'll show one example. Okay, let me where we did run back. This is the one. Then on my EVN also was there. This is the from Paris. You could have seen this water bottles. They're very famous for water bottles. Aqua formula from these people only. These websites. Let me take this endpoint. Okay, this is coming from S3, and then we enabled for this the CloudFront. How do I check it? For this, right, I'll give Route 53 endpoint. I'll not give this one to end users. I'll go to the DNS here. I'll register as a CNAME. I think it won't support as alias this thing. I remember. Let's see. We'll register as a CNAME. Like for example, our cache name, our own name. Then with this now, let me see this. You will get to know what I mean. Copy this guy. Do NS logo. IP addresses, everything AWS will maintain for it. Oh, why didn't they change? Earlier we were getting here. You see right here, CDN. The edge location, that is called edge location only, CDN. See, let me put it here, some names. The cache names. Edge location. We will be calling another name for this, the CDN, Content Delivery Network. It's a separate data center. Will be nearest your place. It will come from there only. So When I enable CloudFront for my origin destination endpoint, the content will be replicated into all the CloudFront locations. From there, it will serve next time onwards. So instead of this name, what I'll do, I'll be using this name. I think they moved it. This earlier we were running from the CloudFront only. Here I was getting that thing. Let me check this endpoint. Doesn't like my event. I wanted to have a CNAME. Here in the down, you will get a CNAME thing. Oh, I think no. You see where they are running right now. This endpoint. This endpoint is coming from where? You can get to know.
U West 1,
Yeah, they're running from where? Like, what is this endpoint?
S3, S3.
Just look again. No, no, when I was in, they moved, I think something. They did a change. Like we ran from initial days, I ran it in S3 only. Can you see now from where it is serving?
Kubernetes.
Yeah, somewhere, yeah, somewhere the load balancer is there. Here, you see right here. This is the load balancer. It is running. It is running in the load balancer. So my objective was, this is the flow. Yeah. For this, we enabled the CloudFront. Now this endpoint, you can register in the route 53. Next time onwards, if you're accessing it, the content will be served from nearest your edge location, the CDN location, not from the S3 bucket. Let me access it. Yeah. Now I'm getting this page. Let me put it here, index.html. I'm going to do any extra steps. Yeah. You see here? Now the content is not coming from source. It is coming from, yeah. This is the endpoint. Let me put it here. Lab enable static website posting on S3 and enable CloudFront. So when I say CloudFront, please, very important keywords. I was saying it. You will be listening this kind of keyword. Akamai, Cloudflare. Yeah, these are the famous names. We are still using it. This Cloudflare wala. CloudFront also. CloudFront is, I'm sorry, CDN names. You see CDN names. You will be listening this. This is AWS one. This is AWS. This is third party. And what are the keywords you will be listening on the CDN? What was that? Origin point. The keywords origin endpoint. So when you enable it, behind AWS will copy this content across all of them. They'll do that. Okay. Any questions, queries you want to ask on it? Cool. So we did till here. This is the flow. Okay. So my objective was we'll cover like next 2 days. We already did this. Then we will enter this automation part. We will come on the automation part. Majority, whatever we did click on the UI page, will go little towards the automation next. That is what my objective. Okay. So we'll cover next on this area. Okay. So let me pass it here. Let me put one more keyword, lab, enable, S3, versioning, and life cycle. Can you guys tell me here, what did you learn with the review? Yeah.
Static.
Static hosting.
And yeah, CDN. So in AWS, the service is called. So this is not only for serving the content, it has another feature, security also. Like WAF, it will be here. Okay, that we'll see. We'll see further. Okay. So let me pass it here. We'll see. We'll meet tomorrow.
So
Yeah.
can you please share the videos.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Immediate after this, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll upload it. Like much not answer, right? So that's where I pass it. I'll go ahead and then I'll upload it. Sure.
Sir, one more thing, sir.
Recording
Actually,
stopped.
the usernames and password, it is not working.
Yeah. I'll share you. I'll share you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.